Do you still remember the example we had a few sessions ago? The very first structure field access API we wrote that only works for once. So when we copy and paste it again, it just doesn't work. Now it's time to explain what's going on behind it. So first of all, we'll explain the concept of owner. I'll type this out. So owner is a scope which owns a variable. Remember this sentence because it will explain everything for us. For all the variables that's defined in the scope with a let expression, the owner of the variable is the current scope. However, we could also pass the variable to other scopes by passing it to other functions as parameters. Let's go to the example we had earlier on accessing field. So earlier time we had something like this. Notice that in the getName function, or getID function, we have the parameter as the structure type student, which means that when we call the function, we actually pass the variable into the scope. Now let's go to our script. So we see that the owner of the S was first this ownership as function. Then it changes to getID function, which means that the ownership as function no longer has the variable S. And that's why when we call let ID equal student get ID, again, it's going to have errors. Okay, now do you still remember what we did to solve this problem? So earlier time, we added a ampersand in both function parameters, and the problem was solved. Okay, it's obviously one way to solve this problem. And here I tell you another way. So another way to solve this problem is that when we try to build and when we see the error, it says it's using the copy. Please use copy as to avoid the move. So it says to add copy. By adding a copy before we pass this parameter and when we define the structure, so here we need to add copy besides job. So what does this mean? It means that we're not passing the variable into the function and change the owner, but actually we're making a copy of it and pass it to the function. So now when we try to build it, and it will just work fine. So to wrap up, we have two solutions. The first is using reference, which is to add ampersand to both functions parameters. The second way is to add a copy ability for this structure. But it's very, very important to know that these two methods are not the same. They are not equal to each other. And we will learn more about this in reference section later. Okay, that's all you need to know in this section. In this video, see you in next one. Bye bye.